Hello, everyone. It's Lau, and it's rumor time. Let's talk about the fourth cure in Healing Good PreCure. So far, all we know is that Healing Good will consist of three cures. Mid season, more cures will appear. We don't know if it's one, two, how many cures will be, which colors they're gonna be. We know basically nothing at this point. Usually, when the first episode airs, we have a lot of merchandise being released. Sometimes we see people hacking the merchandise, and we have the glimpse, our first glimpse of the mid-season cure. Sometimes we have that, sometimes we don't. We don't know how things are going to happen in this season, if people are going to be able to hack some of the toys, if we're going to find something in the wand. We know nothing. What we know, though, is that the three cures are going to use element bottles so that they're able to fight in Healing Good. And a new rumor surfaced in Japan talking about the fourth cure of Healing Good. And this rumor says the fourth cure in Healing Good will be purple. And the rumor not only tells us the color of this cure, but it also tells us the element bottles that she is going to use. Not only that, we found another image on the internet. Actually, Venus was the first one to post it on Twitter, and we're going to talk about all of that. This image shows 12 bottles, and we know for now that each girl will have three. So this fourth girl might have the other three containing all the 12 bottles. Is it true? Is it not true? We don't know. All that we know is that those 12 bottles are true because they're in a merchandise. Anyways, let's take a look at the rumor. And the rumor was obviously shown to us by Iranze on Twitter. Iranze is like the magical girl of rumors because Iranze is always bringing rumors directly from Japan to us. And Iranze says, oh, surfacing rumor for the fourth cure's element bottle: wind, sound, and air. And so we have so far Grace having flower, fruit, and grass as her three element bottles, Fontaine having water, rain, and ice in her element bottles, Sparkle has light, thunder, and fire in her element bottles, and the fourth cure will have wind, sound, and air. So if we think that this rumor is true, we are going to see that each girl represents an element. Cure Grace represents earth, Cure Fontaine represents water, Cure Sparkle represents fire, and the fourth cure will represent air or wind. And this makes a lot of sense if we think about the idea of the girls using elements as their powers. And it has a lot to do with nature, which is a theme that seems to be like a heavy thing in Healing Good. So it makes a lot of sense to have a fourth girl having those kind of powers. And I've seen some people saying that a fourth girl should have been green. And well, you all know I love green cures, and I would love to see a green cure in Healing Good. But there are lots of green details in the Healing Good cures costumes, in all of the three of them, especially in Cure Sparkle. But you know, there are green details in Cure Grace. As we can see, there is like a green overlay in Cure Fontaine, and Cure Sparkle has lots of green details in her costume. So I don't think we're getting like another cure that has a color that's been used a lot, like heavily in the others. If it were pink, I would believe it, but no way. Anyways, Venus was watching a video from Kushemi on YouTube, and Kushemi always shows lots of PreCure merchandise on his videos. His channel is amazing, and he saw this. Those are the 12 bottles that we're gonna have. There's a better image here. This is like a better image for us to see the 12 bottles. And like we're able to see from this one to this one, we can see all the bottles that we already know. And then we have those other three bottles here that we don't really know what it is. Those are different bottles from the other ones, but all of those bottles here are bottles that the other girls are going to use. This one is the Thunder bottle. This one is, I'm not sure, the flower bottle. Like, I'm not gonna say all of them because like it's hard. Where is it now? This okay, so like we have thunder in this one, or probably light. I think thunder. Thunder is here, fire is here, and light is here. So the three bottles from Sparkle, and then we have ice, water, and what is the other? Water, rain, and ice. So yeah, we have ice, ice here, rain in this one, and probably water in this one. Water being like this pink fairy is kind of different, right? But it's nice. And then we have flower, fruit, and grass for grace. And well, grass is this one, fruit is this one, and flower. I think flower is this one right here. Yeah, I think flower is this one. Like, I can't read Japanese, so I don't know. But I think flower is this one. And then this one, together with this and this, are the ones that were used for fontaine, or maybe this one here can also be seen as water. But we do know that the fourth cure is having wind, sound, and air. So this one is clearly the sound bottle, like the sound fairy from the bottle. Like, those look like fairies. So maybe there is like a special fairy inside those bottles. We don't know. We haven't seen Healing Good yet. So this is probably the one from the sound bottle. This is probably the wind, and this can be the air. So I think those three are going to be used by the fourth cure. And if we look at the colors that she has, they, like, those two are very purple. And this one is kind of green. So like, I imagine she would have some green tones in her. And so, like, in this image, I think that it's really palpable. It's really believable that the fourth cure will be a purple cure. And so, if we think about wind, sound, and air as like the third element, as the element of air, and air is where the sound propagates. So that's why we can't, like, since we don't have oxygen in space, there's no sound in space, something like that. So like the air is where the sound propagates itself. So it works like sound, having like a bottle containing sound is very, very palpable and relatable to the air element. And so I would really like to see a cure having like air, wind, and sound powers. That would work amazingly. And if she's purple, I'm gonna love it. I love purple cures. You guys know that. And I would love to see it. And there was a question that was raised on Twitter that was very nice, which is, what would be the difference in a power, in an attack, if the person is going to use air for one attack and wind for another? What would be the difference? My opinion, my take on this would be that air would be used as more of a support element. Like, for example, air, if you use the air element bottle to attack, you would buff yourself so you could fly during the fight. You would be more agile. You would be faster during the fight. And wind could be used more of an attack, more as an attack. You know, you could create a tornado, you could blow wind and, you know, push the enemy away or protect yourself. And sound has already been used in PreCure as an attack before. Cure Beat, if you've watched Sweet PreCure, you know what I'm talking about. Cure Beat was awesome. She was awesome. She was a queen. And she used sound as an element for one of her attacks, or both of her attacks. I don't remember. Like, Sweet was very keen on this sound idea. Anyways, this is what we know so far. Like, we do know, like, this is a real thing. This is a real pamphlet from Healing Good. So those fairies are going to be present. And if we're going to have 12 and 3 for each girl, the 3 other elements are probably going to be used by the other girl. And judging by those two here, purple. purple. So we're probably getting this fourth cure, which is probably going to be purple. How nice is that? I was rooting for a purple cure, and if we get one, I'm going to be very, very happy. So this is all a rumor. It could end up not being true. What do we know? This could be a mystery. And one more thing, if we're talking about a cure that uses sound as an element, maybe that's tied to her personality somehow. So we're getting another singer as our fourth ranger, as our mid-season cure, just like we had with Mao and Uni in a sense. And maybe she could be a singer, or maybe she could use the voice in some way. Like, for example, an actor or a voice actor. There are many ways of using your voice, like in very different ways. But I would love if she were a singer, maybe like more of a folk singer or an indie type singer that gets her guitar and sings on the streets, this kind of thing. We haven't seen something like this in PreCure, and it would be nice. Anyways, I spoke too much, but this is what we have so far. Rumors tied to something that is real. So is this true? Is this not true? Please leave a comment with what do you think is going to happen, and let's keep our eyes peeled because we might see some ideas there next week with the first Healing Good PreCure episode. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.